Do you have a sociopath in your life? Your parents, your friends, your pickup artist crew, other dating coaches, and you don't even know yet how to spot them and protect yourself. I give you 9 life-saving tips you cannot miss. Sociopaths are very predictable. They are like a chess game that only operates in one set of ways. There is no individuality. They are all the same cancer. Here are some tips for dealing with them and why I have a cease contact policy with them when they lose their mind. It's better to not think of them as humans, but sociopathic death stare tumors with a mask of sanity. There is no personality or no soul about them, and they all operate like demons or an Ouija board. First, they try to possess you, using all the cults, pretending to be your friend. Like demons, they take it as an invitation. Then they pretend to learn you over time like the demons. Then the walls try to shake. At the end, they try to possess you, using a smear campaign. Remember, they are not humans, but demons. Since all the sociopaths have one trait they can't hide: a sociopathic intense death stare. Dealing with a sociopath. 9 important rules to follow. If you think you are dealing with a sociopath in whatever kind of relationship, business, romantic, therapeutic, or educational, here are some rules to follow as much as is humanly possible. 1. Get professional help. This is an incredibly useful thing to do and very often overlooked when people are looking for help in dealing with a sociopath or a narcissist. Every step after this one becomes so much easier when you understand the motivations and tactics of the sociopath, as well as how mind control works. A therapist who specializes in this area will help you to understand the steps taken by the sociopath to capture you and manipulate you. This is important for several reasons. Firstly, it means you're able to see the relationship for what it is, something totally false that the sociopath creates in order to manipulate your emotions. Secondly, the sociopath loses his power over you. He can no longer manipulate you in the same way, and the effect he has becomes minimal. This is really important because sociopaths like to dominate and control. When it becomes obvious to them that they are expending more effort trying to control you than it takes you to keep them away, they often get fed up and move away to find easier prey. If you understand the word salads, which a lot of my Indian students from India is like: 1. False accusations. 2. Guilt trip. 3. Pain points. 4. Circular reasoning and arguments. This is their way of emotional blackmail or verbal violence that goes in a circle. They are hoping by doing this, you get emotionally manipulated so they can emotionally destabilize you. Since I know these 4 patterns, I don't even get emotional, but think, oh, sociopath's gonna socio. 2. Get professional help. I know, but it's so much easier than doing this on your own. Sociopaths and narcissists install beliefs in their victims that the victims are responsible for what happens to themselves and that they should be able to sort things out for themselves. This is enhanced when the person is isolated from family and friends. Cult leaders also install a sense of superiority or elitism in the members. They do this firstly because the members become clones of the leader, and the sociopathic leader believes he is better than others. And secondly, because the members believe they know things that outsiders do not, or they know more than outsiders. Therefore, how could someone outside the group help them? Add to this a contempt for psychiatrists and psychologists because of comments by the leadership. And it becomes very difficult for victims to seek outside expert help in dealing with a sociopath. It is best to work only with someone who fully understands mind control and sociopathy. A therapist who does not understand mind control may do more harm than good. Their followers are minions to their cult. Whether through in fields, they shut off their mind. Oftentimes, they also are snowflakes, high ego, low self-esteem people with sociopathic death stares for their audience. Even going as far as learning how to use alcohol and wrestling with her in the bedroom to a point of Russell Brand level. That's what they learn in a boot camp. That is how far they go. That is why my mental trauma cure program is so important. I can undo the damage that was being done. They like to punch holes into your brain if you get too emotional with the word salad pill. In order to punch a hole in your brain, your system must be so triggered. This induces a feeling of shock so they can imprint that feeling into your brain to create PTSD, false accusations, guilt trip, pain points, circular reasoning, and arguments. It's impossible to win in an argument as the sociopath will want to be the judge, jury, and executioner of the truth with their opinions as facts, or delusional like a cult leader like Charles Manson. No matter how good your argument is, they will always dismiss it. You will be inviting these demons more into your life, which is counterproductive. If you are aware of their chess moves, you don't even care or get triggered, but you automatically say, oh, another sociopath. Block and move on. 3. Cease contact. No contact means no contact. No phone calls, no text messages, no emails. As long as you continue to engage the sociopath, they will continue to try and manipulate you. They have nothing better to do in their lives. In fact, often they will spend their lives trying to continue to manipulate you. Sociopaths don't have friends. They perceive others as victims or competitors, and the competitors typically end up as victims too, because the sociopath wants to win at all costs. The problem is, after all these years, I have so many lay testimonials. I already accomplished my goals of nearly 600 laid and poll testimonials for Daygame. It can't be taken away or dismissed. I've already won despite what they say. In their mind, they have to be number one, but they can't ever give up using alcohol in boot camps at the bedroom. They can't win the game without winning at all costs, even if it is immoral, unethical, and borderline great. There are only so many laid testimonials using the alcohol crutch. That's why I got 15 times more than them. Most of the time, the sociopaths have sociopathic parents that beats them or emotionally abuse them over and over until their genes express themselves from their parents' sociopath genes. Any contact is a sign for them that they still have a chance to continue to manipulate you. It's absolutely useless to want to have the last word or to need to explain how upset you have been. You're just giving them a chance to continue to verbally abuse you and play with your emotions. And the lack of empathy and guilt gives the sociopath an advantage that you will never have and that you can never beat. No ultimatums or power plays either. You are going to lose. Don't waste your energy. Of course, sometimes it's simply not possible to cease all contact straight away. But as soon as you realize you're dealing with a sociopath, you need to take steps to protect yourself. Get copies of important paperwork and computer files. Store them in a friend's house. If you do need to communicate, use email and keep all copies. Let their phone calls go to voicemail and save them. If you fear for your physical safety, take whatever steps are necessary. Get professional help if you need to. Let other people know what's happening. Very often when you try and break off contact, a sociopath will try to begin to manipulate the people around you. Get them on your side first, before he tries to make you look bad or crazy. You are going to need support. This is the best advice and why I cease contact with them and don't take their challenges seriously. Just like I have no contracts with demons, I have none with sociopaths. The problem with megalomaniacs, even if you've beaten them for Daygame laid testimonial, so much they will never accept defeat because in their mind they're massive delusions of grandeur. You are just a competitor. They would declare they are not jealous or envious. Those are two different things, but their actions are always jealous. They always tear down others better than them. That's why I have haters with this pattern of behavior. The word salad pill. Personally, I just ignore them. Cease contact and don't let the demons or sociopaths try to learn you. 4. Do not give them more information about you. Any information you give them can and will be used against you. This is important because you are dealing with a sociopath. This means you are dealing with a professional manipulator and you should expect that any personal information you give will be used to manipulate your emotions, blame you for what is happening, or used to try to continue the relationship. If you need to communicate, keep it short, stick to the facts and communicate as if you know your communication is going to be read out in court. This is very true. I do obviously plan to do that. Get ready to sue them if they get over that line. But that is how the demons operate, supporting my understanding of sociopaths. They pretend to be neutral, as they are not on anyone's side. Then with sneaky supervillain-like behaviors and a sociopath death stare, they start to learn you like the demons within Ouija board. 5. Know your weaknesses, because the sociopath certainly does. It has been taking full advantage of them. At least if you understand what your weaknesses are, it gives you a better chance of dealing with a sociopath because you will recognize when he is pressing your buttons. And while you're at it, check out your strengths too. Chances are the sociopath has been manipulating you by using them as well. For example, if you are good at helping people, you will want to be helped. This is where I talk about the 4 traits of the word salad pill. Don't tell them anything about you. They would share their life story and vulnerable things just to learn yours. They try to penetrate you past your public image to get trust as fast as possible. I had a random Indian guy recently who tried to learn me on Facebook, but I said nothing. I thought he was my old student that grew a huge beard trying to troll me. It wasn't him, just a clone, since they both had that sociopath death stare. This guy was like, oh fuck, he is not falling for it. Then he starts to stonewall me. Then he comes back, realizing he got nothing. His death stare gives it all away. Then laughed into the voice message for 3 minutes in a row, like he is possessed by a demon. I blocked him since I have a cease contact policy with sociopaths. This is not to be racist against Indians. They typically have a sociopathic death stare, will stonewall you and backstab all the time in my experience, over and over again. I blocked him and that's that. Block and move on. They would just find another victim. But when the demons attack, the smear campaign, sociopaths typically engage in a smear campaign about their targets. These are outright lies that they tell about you to your family, friends, neighbors, co-workers, and others in your social circle. The sociopath's objective with this smear campaign is to compromise your social support system and therefore increase his control over you. For this reason, the sociopath may start lying about you long before you suspect any problems in your relationship. Report everything that happens to your local law enforcement agency or Interpol, even if the authorities roll their eyes at you for coming into their office to report and supply them with documentation. Yet again, do it anyway. Even those who work in the service against criminals can be conned by the cunning sociopath. Stay the course, document, and report everything. Also note that you should guard against sharing intimate details about your sociopath encounters with other people because you never know who can be trusted. Take away the impact of the sociopath's abuse by having absolutely no response or contact whatsoever, and they eventually get bored and move on to some other more entertaining prey. The reaction of either the victim or others feeds their need to focus on the destruction of their prey. 6. Pay attention to your instincts. What are your instincts telling you? It's difficult when dealing with a sociopath because due to the manipulation you have been overriding your instincts. What, for example, was your initial feeling on first meeting the sociopath? Did you give them the benefit of the doubt at the start for whatever reason? This is something you can never afford to do when dealing with a sociopath. 10 signs for spotting a sociopath. Number 1. Sociopaths are charming. Sociopaths have high charisma and tend to attract a following just because people want to be around them. They have a guru glow about them that attracts people who typically seek guidance or direction. They have those sociopath eyes or that death stare. Number 2. Sociopaths are more spontaneous and intense than other people. They tend to do bizarre, sometimes erratic things that most regular people wouldn't do. They are unbound by normal social contracts. Their behavior often seems irrational or extremely risky, like using alcohol in the bedroom escalating super hard and teaching their students to do the same. Number 3. Sociopaths are incapable of feeling shame, guilt, or remorse. Their brains simply lack the circuitry to process such emotions. This allows them to betray people, threaten people, or harm people without giving it a second thought. They pursue any action that serves their own self-interest even if it seriously harms others. This is why they backstab others and have no guilt escalating drunk women. They simply talk through you as if they never understood this feeling. Number 4. Sociopaths invent outrageous lies about their experiences. They wildly exaggerate things to the point of absurdity, but when they describe it to you in a storytelling format, for some reason it sounds believable at the time. Everything they show is sensationalized half-truths. In reality, it is 99% the alcohol crutch, not skills for their student results. Number 5. Sociopaths seek to dominate others and win at all costs. They hate to lose any argument or fight and will viciously defend their web of lies, even to the point of logical absurdity. They will do anything to win, like using alcohol in the bedroom and escalating super hard. Number 6. Sociopaths tend to be highly intelligent, but they use their brain power to deceive others rather than empower them. Their high IQs often makes them dangerous. This is why many of the best-known serial killers who successfully evaded law enforcement were sociopaths. They might already be criminals and are violent people beating others with a pipe. They know how to escape law enforcement. However, they are not bright. They are only like a spider operating on sociopathic instincts, spinning a web of lies, being manipulative. Number 7. Sociopaths are incapable of love and are entirely self-serving. They may feign love or compassion in order to get what they want, but they don't actually feel love in the way that you or I do. They talk about girlfriends all the time, but their so-called love is just a mask of sanity of manipulation. Their retention game is simply wrestling with drunk women, causing Stockholm Syndrome. Number 8. Sociopaths speak poetically. They are master wordsmiths, able to deliver a running stream of consciousness monologue that is both intriguing and hypnotic. They are expert storytellers and even poets. As a great example of this in action, watch this interview of Charles Manson on YouTube. What they speak on YouTube: they brainwash you with half-truths. They attack you emotionally and also logically brainwashing you. Number 9. Sociopaths never apologize. They are never wrong. They never feel guilt. They can never apologize. Even if shown proof that they were wrong, they will refuse to apologize and instead go on the attack. Even if you say they cheat using alcohol crutches, they skip a beat, not having morals or remorse since they can't feel it. Number 10. Sociopaths are delusional and literally believe that what they say becomes truth merely because they say it. Charles Manson, the sociopathic murderer, is famous for saying, "I've never killed anyone. I don't need to kill anyone. I think it. I have it here. I don't need to live in this physical realm." They can declare they are the best Daygame coach in the world, even without having my 600 laid in poll testimonials for Daygame, where I have 15 times more. Then they will misconstrue it that it is all about bootcamps. They say they have proof. In reality, they have evidence only and don't show the actual proof that their students are using alcohol and escalating super hard in the bedroom. As they are told this is bedroom escalation, they simply can't do it without alcohol. That is what you are paying for $5,600 supporting the unethical sociopath. 7. Do not try to reform them or give them more chances. There is no treatment for sociopathy. Often it makes them worse. Over time, they just become more of who they really are. They simply learn more about people's behavior in therapy sessions, and it gives them more ammunition for later. Somebody who has no conscience has no conscience. They're not going to change. In fact, because of their big egos, arrogance, and sense of entitlement, they think they are better than everybody else and see absolutely no reason to change. And besides, doing this means that you are maintaining contact. They are not humans. They have to do this. They are demons and predictable. They never get better. Their brains are damaged by all the physical and verbal and emotional abuse. They already express their genes. If they have a loving family, they won't express their genes fully, but just a bit. A lot of them are stonewallers. Once my Indian student started stonewalling after he got a fuck by the ego tripping. He wasn't born in the USA, but he was Canadian, born in Asia. 1. The higher self is the altruistic self, like me, where I care a lot about my fellow daygamers and help them with 600 laid testimonials. 2. When they are depressed, they are harmless and docile, just like my student before. But that is only a third of who they are. 3. The lower self is the reptilian brain, which is all about survival and sneakiness. When they learn you and pretend to be your friend, in reality, they can't hide the sociopath eyes or the sneaky gestures. You have to pay attention to your feelings. 4. When their ego goes up, think they are a god, they ego trip until they've been beaten again and again, until they go back into the depressed snowflake cunt gear. My student apologized regardless, but most won't. They don't feel guilt or remorse. Some can even be violent too and try to hit you with a pipe like psychos. All 4 of these states of mind will have 4 different personalities, from depressed to sneaky to their brain lighting up and turning evil ego tripping. 8. Educate yourself. Read books about mind control, about sociopaths, and watch movies and videos. Apply the information to yourself. How were you deceived from the beginning? How did they keep the charade going? What techniques were they using? Why did you fall for them? This is all part of your recuperation for undoing the influence these charlatans had on you so that you can move on after a sociopath. Like I said, once you know these 10 traits, you know every single move they make, so it's not powerful chess moves but predictable. They might not always be aware they are sociopaths, but they know they wear a mask of sanity, gaslighting people that they are their friend, just to backstab later on. Imagine living through life not feeling guilt or remorse. That is why a lot of these guys who are violent criminals. Also, literally using alcohol in boot camps, escalating with her super hard Russell Brand style, and teaching their sociopath minions to do that. Also, sociopaths gets along with each other, the ones with the death stare and triggered behavior. 9. Realize that it's not your fault. You have been dealing with a sociopath. You have been tricked, deceived, and manipulated. Somebody was deliberately molding your reality, influencing your decisions, and directing your thinking and behavior. Whatever happened during this time is not your fault. You did not realize what was going on. You were not fully informed, and realize that you do not have to apologize to other people either if you don't want to. Now that you have this information, it's really hard to get fooled by these demons. You want to make sure to exorcise these demons. They have to understand that they are not invited into your life in any way, any shape or form. The more you engage with these demons or sociopaths, they take it as permission. Whether you are talking with their alt, pretending to be nice, or challenging you, or trying to manipulate you, it's sure they know they don't have permission to act like a demon in your life before the walls start shaking and they try to possess you. They have a mask of sanity, and remember, as much as they look like it, they are not human, but demons. Sociopaths, their narcissism and depression energy, or frequencies that often invites evil in their life, that also compels them to act evil. I hope you learn a lot, and this info can save you from dealing with these sociopaths. For me, I just look at the sociopath death stare and avoid them. I don't make deals with sociopaths, have any agreements or debate with haters because they are going to use word salads all day. They are not the judge, jury, and executioner of the truth. I don't negotiate with them because they are demons and violent sociopaths wearing a mask of sanity. Cult leaders, highly manipulative people. They don't feel remorse or guilt. Ignore them and move on. Cease contact. Always cease contact no matter what, even from friends, family, your pickup artist crew, or stop listening to other dating coaches with the sociopath death stare they hide, where they look like they will beat you with a pipe. They are crazy enough to teach their students to win at all costs using alcohol in the bedroom and escalating super hard to bypass consent for their boot camps. Without this game crutch, their day game system won't work, just like their day game courses.